The King William District was a historical neighborhood. It had all the charm of LA's Mulholland Drive at sunset. Chris walked up the beautiful Victorian home, nestled deep within the cozy, well-to-do suburb. The scene was taped off. CSI was in and out of the home. He made his way to a large, covered wooden porch. The outside stucco walls were covered in thick green vine. Dormant, snow-covered bougainvillea vines surrounded the outside property line. The lot in general was immaculate. Someone put a lot of love and money into its overall look and upkeep. Chris carefully walked up the steps and under the yellow tape to meet Michael at the door. "Hey, good morning, old man," Michael commented upon seeing Chris make his way carefully up the steps. "Good morning, young Padawan," Chris responded to Michael, who was 10 years his junior. Chris was a mess, but Michael thought the sun shined out of his ass, though he'd never admit it. He'd rather bust Chris's balls. He learned a few things from his mentor over the past 2 years, things that have saved his skin more than once. Michael smirked at Chris and began the rundown. "Medical examiner's inside. We got a 1 Max von Drack, Caucasian male, age 68. His throat was slashed, his eyes gouged out and placed into his mouth. It appears it was done while he was still alive. He, bit down on them. The Vic was also clenching a lemon in his right hand. He squeezed the shit out of it, too." Chris, being the smartass he was, couldn't resist. "You don't think he was making lemonade, do you, detective?" "Really? That's just wrong, man," Michael said with his eyebrows raised. "Anyway, he also had something carved into his left arm, a link to a website. I took a pic and already checked it out. It's a link to a horror fiction website called Creepypasta." "Creepypasta? What the fuck is that?" Chris asked with an expression like he smelled something rotten. Michael raised his eyebrows. "Yeah, Creepypasta.com. It's a horror fiction website where writers post all kinds of short horror stories. It has quite the cult following, apparently. The link is to a story called A Tale of Him Holding a Lemon." Chris laughed. "Are you fucking for real?" He shook his head and looked Michael right in the eye. "Well, take me to the stiff." The SAPD detectives made their way inside the lovely home, which would likely sell fast on the market regardless of the crime. The hallway led to a large living room, finished in a nice oak. Dark polished wooden floors, bookcases, and a china cabinet rested against the old walls. On a large, blood-soaked Persian rug lay a man in a blood-covered yellow sweater vest, white dress shirt underneath, and black slacks. His shoes had been removed. He had a gray mustache and wavy hair. He looked to be small in stature, about 5'6". His eye sockets were empty and bloody. Blood covered the areas of his mouth and neck. The long cut on his throat was apparent. His left shirt sleeve had been rolled up, and the link to the story was indeed carved into his forearm. The wounds on his arm had begun to dry and scab over, making the carvings even more visible. What kind of monster would do this to an old man? This city and its fucking scumbags. Always on duty. Doesn't look like the work of a button man or a burglar. Looks personal. Anything taken? Chris asked. No. It appears that the killer, or killers, wanted the attention to be focused on the killing, Michael replied. Do you think there was more than one killer? Chris asked over his shoulder. Not sure. We got CSI running tests. He has been dead too long. Livor mortis has set in. Next of kin? Someone has to pay for his burial, Chris asked. None yet. By the looks of things, it doesn't seem like he had any kids, if you know what I mean. Michael pointed at a framed picture on a bookshelf of Mr. Von Drack kissing another older man. He was a daisy. Okay, let's get the patrols interviewing neighbors. Michael, take this photo and make your way around the gay bars tonight, Chris ordered. Oh, shit, Michael protested. Chris looked at Michael and smiled. Hey, grunts do the legwork. You know this, sonny boy. Besides, the daisy in the photo is our prime suspect at this point. Chris located Mr. Von Drack's cell phone and did a search. Okay, I'll start looking for next of kin.